What's good, everybody? It's Jonah coming back at you with another video. So with this video, I wanted to talk about the idea of suffering and to explain to you why suffering is always the result of an error in thinking. Now, whether you want to believe this or not, right? People suffer because of the negative thoughts that they think. Because all of this always stems from the thoughts, because the thoughts is always the beginning, is always the cause, right? Your thoughts are what determines your feelings, and your feelings are what determines your actions. So whether you want to believe this or not, the cause of everything, the root cause of everything always begins with thoughts. And if you're suffering, it's because there is an error of thinking, right? You're probably thinking thoughts of worry, thoughts of, anxiety, right? Which makes you feel anxious, right? You're thinking concerned thoughts. And what that is that you're essentially using your mind, your imagination in a negative light. It's literally negative imagination. Because how many times have we experienced a situation in our life where we think of the worst possible case scenario of something happening, something playing out, and it never does, right? You know what I'm talking about. You've done this before, most likely. Pretty much almost guarantee that you've done something, right? Where something can seem scary, or like you may be super worried about an outcome, thinking of the worst possible case scenario, and you're just freaking out the whole time, and you're worried and you're anxious. And then that event never happens, and everything somehow, some way, all the pieces fall into place and it gets handled. And the entire time you essentially suffered without there ever needing to be a reason to do that, right? And that stemmed from thinking, that stemmed from incorrect thinking. What you need to understand is that the feeling of suffering, right, those negative emotions that you're feeling, all that is an indication that you're going the wrong way. It's just an indication that your thinking in that moment is not in harmony with the laws of the universe, that your thinking is not in alignment with who you are and your true self, because you are spirit, you are a creator, you have God's gift of creation within you, so you are powerful beyond measure, right? And you are energy, you are connected with the universe, the greater universe, because everything around this is also energy as well. So you are one with everything around you, right? And to be feeling the sensation or feeling of suffering, that's because your thoughts are not in harmony with these laws. Your thoughts are not in harmony with your true self and how you feel about yourself and everyone else around you. Right? That's what you need to be aware of. The thoughts, the feeling of suffering is just an indication that you are going the wrong way. Right? We'll use an example of other indications that exist in life, right? If you've ever driven or just been in a car, right, you obviously have a fuel gauge, right? That is your meter that tells you whether or not the gas in your car is full, which is F at the top, or E, which is empty at the bottom. As you drive the car, right, say your car's already been filled up, but you're driving the car, right, obviously the car begins using gas and the meter starts heading towards the E. Now, if you drive for too long without filling up the car will then begin beeping, making noises, right, and alerting you that it is almost at E, which means that the car is almost empty with gas and needs to be refilled with gas in order to, at some point, continue driving, right? In a case like that, the fuel gauge is literally an indicator indicating to you the amount of gas is in the vehicle and telling you, when the car needs to be filled back up. When the car is beeping, which is informing you that it needs gas, you don't ever get so frustrated to the point where you begin beating up your car or punching the fuel gauge to tell it to stop making noise, right? Or hit your vehicle to tell your vehicle to stop beeping, right? Like that's unheard of. No one would do that, right? You would just simply try to find the nearest gas station, go to the gas station and fill up your car with gas, because the fuel gauge is not a bad thing. The car beeping is not a bad thing, because these are indicators that are telling you what is needed, right? and you're suffering the negative feelings that you're feeling from thinking, that's no different. When you feel that discord within you, right? When you're thinking a thought and you feel worried, nervous, anxious, concerned, angry, frustrated, you feel a discourse inside of you, right? It doesn't feel good. And that is simply just an indicator for you, telling you that you are going the wrong way, that you need to turn around and start heading in the other direction, right? In a case like that, you don't want to resist it, right? The same way you don't want to resist the the fuel gauge, right? The indicator in your car is telling you whether or not you're about to run out of gas. You don't fight it. You just go and refill the car. The same idea with you as a person. If you feel those negative emotions, you don't want to fight it. You don't want to be mad that you're mad. You don't want to be angry that you're suffering. You just want to be able to take a deep breath, right? No longer resist it, and then begin thinking about what is that you do want out of this event, or what is that you do want out of the circumstance, or what would be the best case scenario or outcome of this, right? If there's someone who is not feeling well in your life, right? Begin envisioning them having energy and being healthy and smiling, right? Because that would be you using your mind to put out the best case scenario for that person. And the same with you. If you want to live a healthier lifestyle, envision yourself already being in that healthy shape, in being filled with energy, smiling from ear to ear, right? Showing love and affection for everyone around you, right? Envision yourself as that person, because then that's you putting your thoughts towards the best case scenario, towards what it is that you want. So then you'll begin getting excited and feeling good about that. Those are thoughts that are in harmony with the laws of the universe. Those are thoughts that are in harmony with who you are as a person, because you're always chasing happiness. That is what you want. If you can be happy moment to moment for the rest of your life, you will choose that over being bored or over feeling negative emotions, right? You would choose to be blissfully happy. I think everyone, they have the choice moment to moment for the rest of their life, would choose to be filled with happiness and love over any other emotion, because that is what makes us happy. That's what brings us true joy. So that's what the negative thinking is. That's what suffering is. It's just a result, an error of thinking. It's just you thinking the wrong thoughts, you thinking the things that you shouldn't be thinking. And all it is just the universe basically telling you, hey, you're just going the wrong way. Turn around and start heading this way, right? And so in those moments where you're feeling suffering, don't fight it, don't resist it. Just say, you know what is it that I want out of this? What would be the best case scenario, right? What would make me happy? And then that's how you change direction. That's how you start heading the right way, right? Another example that I can give, if we use your taste buds as an example, your taste buds is all, your senses are indicators. But if we use your taste buds, for example, say you're not allergic to anything, right? Say, for example, you are just not a fan of shrimp for whatever reason. Or I'll use myself as an example. I'm not the biggest fan of fish, right? Historically, like growing up in my childhood, I've rarely ever eaten fish. Of course, I've probably had I definitely eat shrimp, right? But just fish in general, like salmon, things like that, I haven't had it many times in my life, and it's just not a preference of mine. The times I've had salmon, I thought it was okay. Was never really the biggest fan. So that's my taste buds indicating to me that that is not necessarily a desirable food for me. That's okay. I don't get mad that I don't like salmon to the point that I need to make it my mission and go out of my way to try to eliminate all the salmon that exists on the planet, right? That doesn't happen. Rather than doing that, I just accept that that's the case, that I'm not the biggest fan of salmon, and that's okay. I accept that there are other people who enjoy eating salmon, so I can leave that for them, right? More salmon for those people. Rather than me going out of my way to keep eating salmon until I like it, I would much rather leave it and then go enjoy the food that I do like, right? Because I would much rather prefer eating a steak or chicken over salmon. The same idea there, right? There's no reason for me to get so angry that I don't like salmon or get frustrated that it's not, one of my favorite foods. I just accept what my taste buds are telling me, my indicator, right? At some point, maybe as I grow older, maybe it's possible that salmon could be an acquired taste that I'm just not fond of, because I know, like, as a kid, there were some things that I never used to eat back then, like peppers, onions, whatever. Never used to eat that as a kid, or like tomatoes, that I'm fine with eating now, being much older, right? It was possible that it was just an acquired taste. So it's possible that maybe at some point in the future, I can be a fan of salmon. But I don't get mad that I don't like salmon, right? I don't get angry and try to take out the salmon. It's just, I allow it to exist. I make peace with that. And I just focus on what is it I do want, right? Because me eating the foods that I enjoy, I'll be more excited. I'll be looking forward to eating, right? It's not that I don't like salmon and then I just don't eat food because I wasn't a fan of salmon. No, I'm still gonna eat, but I'd rather just eat the foods that I enjoy. Same idea here. If you're suffering, then there's no reason to be mad or angry. Just make peace with that, right? Take a deep breath and with an open mind begin thinking about what is that you do want. What is the best case scenario out of this, right? What feelings, like what thoughts can I think that actually makes me feel good? Because then that is what's putting me on the right track. So that is how you want to approach life. Like, a lot of times, well, people accept their five senses as being their senses, but a lot of times people don't see emotions as a sense as well. They just see emotions as that's just how they're feeling, but they don't accept emotions as, or they don't view emotion as an indicator as well. Your emotions are indicating to you what you're thinking, whether or not it's good or bad, because that's emotion. If your emotions feel bad, if you're feeling bad, then you're thinking, you have an error in thinking. If you're feeling good and you're feeling amazing, then that means you're on the right track. That means you're thinking the thoughts that you should be thinking, that are pushing you towards the life that you want to live, pushing you towards the best version of yourself, and being in alignment with the laws of the universe. So hopefully this video is insightful. Hopefully this one is an eye-opener to let you guys know and understand that your feelings is a sixth sense, and it also is an indicator. And so if you are suffering, it is a result in an error of thinking. So that's just the universe, your true self, telling you, hey, like, this isn't you. Like, we need to turn you and put you on the right track. So that wraps up the video. If you enjoyed the video, do leave a like and subscribe, as we are on the road to 100 subscribers, and I would want you to be on that journey with me. So we'll see you guys. It's Joel, and I'm out. See you guys for the next video.